1939, and I'm in the 8th grade, and I'm 12 years old. And in June of that year, or maybe a little bit earlier, the New York World's Fair opened up. And my father decided he was going to try to get a job at the fair, because it wouldn't be as taxing on him as driving a taxi.
Okay.
And anyhow, he got the job, and they gave him a job, operating the side gate near the turnstiles for the handicap. And he told me to come to the World's Fair, and he would let me in through the handicap gate. And I get to the World's Fair with by that time I had 20 cents, but all I needed for the day was a quarter for the whole day at the fair. Yeah, and see, the subway was a nickel, so when I got there, I had 20 cents. So when lunchtime came around midday, because I used to get there by 11, lunchtime came around midday, I would get a Frankfurter for a dime and a Coke for a nickel.
And you left with a nickel.
And I was left with a nickel, and that would get me home. In the meantime, I had the run of the whole fairgrounds. And I had free maps and all of that kind of stuff at the time. And I got to know the fair inside out. That's why I took the opportunity here only recently, a few weeks ago, to get a copy of the book about the 1940 World's Fair. You know, and the funny part about it is that it gave me the best education a youngster could get. The best education a youngster could get. By the time the season was over and we had to go back to school in September, and into the 8th grade, as I went into the 8th grade in 39, I was 12. And I felt like I was an encyclopedia.
Well, that's good. So you went there more than once? You went there all the time?
I went there two to three times a week. Yeah. Learned so much from going to buildings like the General Motors World of the Future, the Ford building where they give you a free ride in an automobile in a confined area, up and down the hill and around, and brought you back, and a free ride to try to sell Fords. And Wonder Bread. And you know how Wonder Bread has those balloons on the wrapper? The whole building was filled with balloons like that, just like the wrapper. And they had this long oven. And you walked around with the walkway, and you watched the oven work, and you saw them put in the bread, which was about this size when they put it in. Believe me, it was about that size when they put it in. And when it came out at the other end, it was a full loaf of bread, you know, and then the wrapping machine would grab it, you know, it would go over, the wrapping machine would go, and before you know it, it was all wrapped and ready to go, and all people were there, but just gathering them up, putting them in a big basket, and handing them off to somebody else to put on a truck to go someplace, either in the fair or outside the fair. And it was a great experience. All of the buildings I went to all the foreign buildings, particularly the Italian building. I noticed the architecture. I didn't know anything about architecture, but I noticed that it was one of the best looking buildings at the fair. All those things were kind of interesting and foreign, but new. They were foreign but new, you know.
And so how did all this impact you and start you in a different direction?
I'll go to tell you that. What happened was I had seen so much of it and learned so much about different countries. Spain had a very nice exhibit. I never forget that.